Just wondering something. Did you ever wonder if some of the stuff that we've done, let's say 25, 30 years ago, still applies in 2025? And today we're going to talk about just that. And it's in the case of this. Does the 10% rule of saving money still work in 2025? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Hey, how you doing today? Of course, I'm on the Save Money and More with Jan channel, and today we're going to talk about the 10% rule of saving money. How's everybody doing today? And as usual, I hope that everybody is doing well. Before I get into that, I want to mention a very interesting video that I came across. It's been up for, I guess a while, and it's called the $20 Rule. That's it. The $20 rule. I believe that was the whole thing. But look it up. The $20 rule. If I have a chance, I'll try to find it, hook it up, and put it in the description if I have a chance. If I don't have a chance, you might be interested in looking on your own for the $20 rule. All right, everybody. Let's talk about this 10% rule of saving money in 2025. Some things change, they evolve so much. I mean, like really evolve, like so much. And some things remain the same. Okay. So some people have been in the habit, and yes, it is a habit, have been in the habit of saving 10% that they could and putting it towards their savings, whatever their specific savings goals are, as part of a habit. It's like we get up in the morning, without blinking an eyelash, we look to brush our teeth, perhaps take a shower. Some of us like to kick back and have a cup of coffee and stare into space. Little quote, end of quote, habits like that. And the number 10% is easy for anyone to work with. But here we are in 2025. And while that rule was, rule of 10% may have been fantastic in, let's say 25, 30 years ago, how's it working right now? Well, for those who were consistent, yeah, it's still working. So I am convinced about a couple of things. One of the things that I am convinced with, yes, we picked the number 10%. 10% is easy to work with, it's easy to remember, it's easy to calculate in our mind quickly. You see where I'm going with that. But does it always have to be 10%? You see, I'm of the ethic and belief that, let's say that a person is struggling and having a harder month than usual. For some reason or another, the bills are higher that particular month, things come up. This is real life. And even though the good intention to save is still there, and perhaps the person is still going to save, they may have to save just 5% of their income that month. Does this sound reasonable to you, that there should be some flexibility? I believe yes. I believe that would be the key to continuously stay able to save, to be consistent, to do this all the time. To me, this makes a ton of sense. Conversely, let's say a person is having an amazing, fantastic month. We all like that kind of month. Am I right or am I right? Sure, sure. So then the opportunity is available for the person or persons to decide to save even more than 10%. Maybe that month they could save 20 or 25%. It all depends on the situation. You see, a lot of people stay totally focused on the fixed number. And I understand. And it's a good thing to do that because it's easy and it's simple to remember that number. And if you have it automated, it's just done that way. Okay, great. But I'm also of the belief that I am more impressed if a person does their saving habit consistently. To me, this makes a ton more of sense. Okay. It's more important that a person saves consistently every time. So maybe one month they can't save the 10%, they can only do 8%. Don't get discouraged if it's an 8% month or a 5% month, as long as you still keep going. See, that's the trick, to keep going and going and going anyway. And like, I don't know, it's a reminder for many things in life. Sometimes we have to be flexible. And believe it or not, from what I read, this year in 2025, people are, yes, using the 10% rule, but they're also including that flexibility. This is real life. And in real life, life happens. And some months are better than others. Just like every single month, our budget changes from month to month. Sometimes our incomes don't change from month to month. Many times they do, but sometimes they don't. But what can change rapidly are our circumstances and what we have to pay out in expenses. This is the very same reason why I oftentimes suggest for everyone to check their budget every month. No 2 months are identical, in my honest opinion. No 2 months are identical, and we work the best with the stuff that we have. So, although today's video is a little shorter than usual, I believe the message is powerful. Yes, the goal may be to go with the 10% all the time, and that's great if you automate it. But if you have a bad month and you can't save the full 10%, even a little bit of something is much better than a lot of nothing. You see where I'm going with this? All right, everybody, thank you so much for being here. And I truly do appreciate everybody's time. It's the idea of being consistent, taking things in baby bites, being willing to be flexible while we're still trying to focus on the 10%. You see where I'm going with this. All right, everybody, take good care of yourself and your amazing family.